Yeah, it's your boy Danny J. Quick, and I'm here with Kyron Silva. And we want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 149th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the perplexed purple purveyor of Aceblade, Dan J. Quick. And together we are your two award-winning Bird comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the Age to Geekdom Network via Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews, interactions help us reach a bigger audience. What's up, Danny?
Not much. I messed my beanie up, and now it doesn't look right. But we're gonna rock with it how it is. How you been doing, man?
I'm all right. You look like what was that character from Fat Albert?
The one with the
yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, now
I gotta look it
up. Donald. That
was it Donald?
Donald was the one with the beanie hat that went like.
Oh, you talking about Dumb Donald? Yeah.
Mushmouth
had a beanie too.
But I figured the.
But yeah, I got you. Mushmouth.
The beanie, the color Donald, was closer to Donald's.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
All right.
Man, so this week has been a week, man.
Yeah.
Dang, 148 too many.
Wow. Chatty House After Party. Wow. Damn.
Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
So basically what you're saying is after our first episode, we should just quit, huh?
All right. Just quit. That first one should have been enough.
I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know why we've done so many at this point.
I can't really point to something to disagree with you, like a stat or anything like that. But we just like hanging out with each other. So
yeah, seriously.
That's a reason enough for me. And
we're gonna hang out with each other a lot this year, I have a feeling.
Yeah. If what you said just now, comes to pass, man, I'll be excited to actually meet you in person in June.
Well, I mean, it is coming to pass. I got accepted.
Oh, okay. There we go then.
And paid for the table already.
Okay. See, that's what I like. I have not paid for my table yet, but I'm going to pay it on the first.
Well, I had some money because I went to Black Comics Day this past weekend in San Diego. Shout out to Keith and Jones putting out an amazing event with some great creators. I actually got to sit next to Kevin Garbeau, actor of Underworld and creator of Blue Marvel and a couple other comics, and we got to talk for a little bit. Sat next to David Crownson from Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, nice. Don Walker. There was a lot of people we've had on our show that were there. Honestly, I was surprised how many people were just in my vicinity that has been on our show before. So
I heard that my man Brian had a huge inflatable not kaiju but Gundam out there.
I think it was like
y'all talk about tall. Me. Y'all talk about me going over the top. That guy Brian, he's a showman for sure.
He said he was gonna reach out to you, tell you how he can get you an inflatable Aceblade. So
we're gonna make it happen. Believe me.
I'm worried about what you're gonna do with an inflatable Aceblade, though.
Don't worry about what I'm gonna do with it. Just know that it's gonna be worth the money.
Okay. All right. Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a good? I mean, it's been 2 weeks since we've done a show, right?
Yeah. Valentine's Day went good, man. I was me and Tiana. We went and went to a little jazz show. Had a good time, man. What about you? Cool. What you do for Valentine's Day?
I actually made dinner for my wife. Made some shrimp Alfredo. Did a nice salad. Made dessert. I just did everything myself. We wanted to keep it low key because I was literally leaving the next morning for my trip to San Diego. So like I couldn't stay out too late and do anything crazy. And we're old anyways nowadays. We can't do too much now.
Yeah, man. The big 38. How old are you now? What are you, 30, 39? I know
44.
You're older than me. I know you're older than me.
I'm 44, dude. I'm 44.
I'm just gonna say that I'm just gonna say you're my age. I know you're older than me, but
I'm 44.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. But anyway, it's good. It's good to live a long time because now we get to see things that we never seen before. Like we get to see a whole new era of indie comics, people making things that you never, thought you might be able to see in your lifetime. Like our guests today. We got our guests, multiple today, from First Noble Studios. Bring them on to the show.
All right, so we got Steven. Steven, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
And we got Gerald.
Steven and Gerald. Thank y'all for coming on to the show, man.
Huge thank you, because it's like 2 o'clock for you guys right now, 2 a.m. for you?
Yeah, 2 a.m. So, a midnight thing. But it's all cool.
all the way over the ocean in the Netherlands right now, I believe.
Yes, indeed.
So for those who might not know who you are or may not have seen your project, give us a quick introduction of you and what it is that you make.
Cool. I think I'm gonna start because I know Gerald still need to wake up a little bit. First Noble Studios are our main project that we are working right now is Rise of the Mafu, a graphic novel. We just had a Kickstarter and a For the Kunst crowdfunding campaign. And it's the first graphic novel from our studios, and we are really excited to because now we're in the production phase to put everything out there, because we started the Kickstarter. Indeed, it was a successful campaign, so the campaign still is continuing, so people can still pledge, so everyone that's still hearing this, seeing this, you still can make it happen. And maybe Gerald can tell a little bit more about what it's all about.
Yes, I want to try. Hey guys, I'm Gerald. I'm the co-creator and director of First Noble Studios. Rise of the Mafu is an epic graphic novel project set in the epic world of History of the World novel series, because it's based on a novel series we are writing. It's origin story of this world, this planet, and the universe, but then created from an Afro-Caribbean, Afrofuturistic point of view. So we'll dive into ancient lore, mysticism, and combine it with an adventurous, actionist storytelling. It's epic. It's epic. It's hip hop mixed with fantasy. We're doing it like we're doing everything from a Black creative point of view, and we're mixing it with popular culture. It's something very fresh and very new. We have been working on it for several years, because this is the graphic novel series, but we also have created a VR experience. We're doing art expositions, and we're building a world. It's like we're saying, it's bigger than the Lord of the Rings series. Planets, deities, creatures,
realities.
Yes,
yep. It's all in there.
Big.
Yeah.
One thing that I saw on the campaign that really intrigued me is the realm of realities. So I know that your three main characters are based off of you two and your late sister,
Yes.
or have your names at least. So can we expect to see multiple versions of your characters, or is it these three going through different realities?
Yeah, it's more us going through different realities and times. So it's not like the Marvel one with all different kind of alters. It's a different way, and it's also based under the African Caribbean perspective, how many see reality. Because we have like the normal field, the realm of matter, where everything is, of course, made of matter and tangible. But that there are other dimensions, like the ancestors are directly influencing our daily lives and vice versa. So they are also having their realm that is like directly on top of this realm, and they are interacting with each other. But it's only one, because when we're talking about African Caribbean, then we say our ancestors, then we can all imagine that in one kind of way or another. But there are way many other dimensions and realms with beings, creatures that are interacting all with one another, and that is what we are creating in the whole world building.
Now, why a comic book with this? I mean, it seems like this is your first dive into creating graphic novels or comic books. What made you guys decide to go this route instead of another way?
Yeah, I'm gonna look to Jero because it's partly
Uh-oh.
his story. Because when he was now, you can tell it yourself because he was a major comic head when he was growing up.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm a big comic fan since I was 6 or 7 years old. I started reading it. I read everything there was, like all the versions of Spider-Man, X-Men, DC, Marvel, ElfQuest, European lore, everything there was. But that was the beginning. It sparked our imagination. When we started to say, okay, we're going to write a novel series, the idea started, we're going to start a comic. But as you know, and when you're young, or when you're new, you think, okay, I'm just going to write a comic. But it's such a big production, the world, the characters, and everything. And I was started writing the novel series first. So when I was like a few hundred pages in, Stephen started to develop the world building parallel. I was writing a text. He was working with some creators, working on the visuals. And so we started working on the comic like 5 years ago. And now after 5 years ago, the idea became so big because we have done VR experience. We've done expositions in different capital cities of the world. We're coming back to our original plan. Okay, the comic. Because we have seen that the ambition was so big, we couldn't just do only comic. So we circled back to the first point of view. But why a comic? That was the original idea all along. Only we were not ready then.
Yeah, and it's also a media that is so epic for so many generations that love comic. Looking at the ages that we are having from like the young cats still, it's timeless. And a lot of things that we are explaining, because specifically nowadays, people, not everyone, but many people do not have really like the concentration span or the interest in really like picking up a novel, a chapter book, and going it bit by bit and using their imagination in that kind of way. But with comic, it still works. Doesn't matter if it's like a 20 page, a 60-page one. People pick it up all times, all ages. So it was also a way for us to tell our story, our narrative, to an audience that normally wouldn't pick up the novel, but still tell our story.
No, I love it. I like I'm not Kyron is the OG comic head in our podcast. He's been collecting comics and reading comics for way longer than I have. And that's not just because he's so much older than me, it's because he
God
started.
damn it.
but just as I've always loved superhero stories and the cartoons and things like that. So I can definitely feel the passion there, Gerald. But how far are you on the? I do agree that it's tougher to get people to read a novel these days, probably, like especially an indie book. But you said a novel series. How far are you into writing your novel, and how many books in the series are you planning for it to be?
Okay, I'm pretty far in. The first saga of the novel series will span at least 4 books because I'm writing in parallel. I started writing, and after I wrote like more than 100 pages, I thought, no, I can't do this. I can just dive into the sweet stuff. I need to have an introduction. So I stopped with that. I started writing the introduction to the universe, the lore, to explain everything, what it's all about. And I'm now working on book 3 and 4 parallel. Book 2 is coming out at the end of this year, and yeah, the first
What
book
is
is done
already out?
already. So I'm writing 4 books at the same time, and that's not the end of the
Oh
saga.
wow.
It will be 7 books, at least 7 books, because we got stuff to tell, and the shit is epic.
All
The
right, I
shit is
feel like
epic.
I'm not. I feel like I'm not working hard enough now. Like
That's
I
you're
feel
not.
like
You're not.
I feel like I need to be writing. All right, I need to do Ace Blade number. I've been thinking for 10 years to write the second Ace Blade novel, and you
Mhm.
writing 6 at the same time. Okay,
Yeah,
I definitely need to work hard.
the fire is there. You know why? Some people just have a cool story, but for us, it's more than just a legacy. It's based on our lived experiences,
Hmm.
things we see since we were young, things we have been through that we couldn't talk with anybody without heading. We are Afro Caribbean. We live in the Netherlands. Our parents are from the Caribbean islands, and what we saw, what we've been through, all kinds of magical stuff, like things you can see on things you don't even see on Netflix, things we have saw it with our own
Mhm.
eyes. We have been through it. We have been through hell and back, and this is like our way of therapy. We cannot talk with anybody about these things, so we need to write it down. Otherwise, we're going crazy. So it's more than we need to write this down. Otherwise, we're nuts, man. We're going nuts. So it's a thing that I need to write. I need to explain to people there is more between heaven and earth. There is more between us black people, why we're doing what we're doing, what's happening on this planet. It's a cool epic story, but the layers are deep. We're diving into like the ancient lore of why we, as black people, came on this planet, and what we
Mm.
forgot about
Mhm.
our history and our legacy, why we're still into this mess. That's the main theme in the series, and we got stuff to tell because we are the oldest people on this planet, man. We got big karma
Mhm.
on our shoulders, and we need to know about ourselves. So yes, it's epic, it's cool, it's hip hop, it's culture, but but the layers are deep. So we need to do this, not only for us, but for all the people of color in this world, because it's not going so well for us at this moment. So it's our
No.
duty to go deep and go hard.
I agree with you. I think it's very timely. And people need stuff. We've been talking about over the past few months how important it is to write and create things that people can enjoy and people can see themselves in. And I think it's a worthy cause, man. So shout out to you, brothers, man. We appreciate you doing
I,
this for sure.
I don't want to glaze over. Danny, you do work hard. I don't want Brandon's in the chat talk about you're a slacker. I mean, you have written 9 issues of Ace Blade, a graphic novel. You've written 2 issues of Ballad of the Black Rose.
Well,
You
it's
had
not
your
enough.
own shop for a while. I
It's
mean,
not enough. No, it's not
don't,
enough.
you've done a
It's
lot.
not enough.
I want to give you your
I'm
flowers too.
I'm not up. I'm not up at 2 a.m. promoting a graphic novel.
You would
Like our
if you
brothers
could. Don't lie. You would if you could.
from across the ocean here, man. I know my man Gerald was asleep. He got up and threw
Yeah.
on the turtleneck and got to it, man. I love it.
So
No,
how hard is
so
that for you? Oh, sorry. How hard is that
no,
for you guys being in the Netherlands and creating a comic? I mean, Danny and I, of course, in the United States, so we know the difficulties of working in our confines. But in the Netherlands, do you guys have maybe the resources as far as other creative folks to reach out to, and finances? Like, what is it like for you guys as far as creating a comic?
Yeah, it's quite challenging. Now I'm
Mm.
gonna say it's challenging, but we're we're fighting through because yeah, like the whole geopolitical stuff. On the other side of the ocean, I know you have it like tough in these times. We also have our stuff over here, but if you like, there are enough black people here and people of color, but they are not like through the whole country and based on the like the small percentage, not everyone is still in the same mindset that we are in focusing on the creation part and um, looking past the colonial aspect of things.
Mm.
Um, so getting together really as like as a black community and to embracing one thing as a product, first of all because it's cool, and second of all because it's like black owned and black created. We are not there yet, and what we see now when we're getting stuff out there, that we get more support from people abroad than people from the Netherlands itself. And that is sometimes it's a little bitter, but it's also bittersweet because, like I said, we're from the diaspora, so we know that our brothers and sisters from color and not from color not are not only like focused on the Netherlands or from Europe, but we're all connected, and that is the most important thing that we see now with this project. That is from the UK, from Canada, from the States, even South America. That people that are coming like in touch with this project are getting hyped and supporting it. Sometimes with a pledge, can be with a comment. We share whatsoever, and that is the thing that keeps us going.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree, man. I think that's super important, man. Like I said, especially today, we got the internet. We have the ability to reach out and to communicate with people all over the world. And like you said, we're all connected because of where we come from. So I think that it's important that we share our stories. I saw on the Kickstarter that you have. I don't know if it was available as a reward, but you had I think it was a book called his story of the world, not history of the world, but his story of the world. Is that
that's the novel series.
that's the novel? Okay, all right,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. So is that available on the Kickstarter too?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is still as an extra. I said as an add-on.
An
And
add-on. Okay.
the special edition. Yeah, it's there. And if it's not there, then
It's on your
please
website also, right?
let me know. Yeah, on the website,
Okay.
on our own web shop, you can find it. So we just released in last December the special edition version, like the director's cut has like 60 more pages than the normal soft cover that we have, and with some updates from editing and revision. So yeah, that's out there now.
Got the
Working on
direct.
the next. Yeah.
Got the director's cut. See, I love stuff like that. That's something that we do with a lot of our comics. We'll do, the original. We'll do the original release, and then we might do a special edition that's got some behind the scenes and stuff like that. Because there's people who I know me. I love stuff like that. I love, seeing the director's version of a movie, or I like to hear the commentaries and stuff like that. So I know there's an audience for it, and like you said, because sometimes you get support from people that aren't in your area. You never know what the interests are for people who aren't close to you until you put it out there and see. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
So the Kickstarter is funded. You guys are in production for that. We know you talked about the upcoming novels. There's 3 more coming. Whenever Gerald wakes up and finishes those. But what else comes from First Noble after that? What can we expect?
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up, but specifically for the graphic novel, this is volume 1. So we intend to do way more because we're already in some sketching ideas for the next volume, because there's so many, like Gerald said, there's so many stories that we still want to tell. So yeah, at least it is the first one of the graphic novel, and I think when this one is released, because today even we're sharing comments and messages about the next volume of the graphic novel, even though we haven't finished this one. So yeah,
But
Gerald,
the main vision is the graphic novel series is the basic for the animation. So that's why we also into music production. We did like epic some epic tracks with Sarah Kasoma Saya. Shout out to them. And we're working on music. That's why we did VR, because we are mixing all those media together to create that impact, that immersive impact. But yeah, the animation series for sure. But we have a long. We don't have a long way to go, because we keep on writing, keep on making stories, because side stories, spin-off stories, and also the main line. We're all working everything together. So definitely animation.
Yeah, and it's a difficult thing to keep the balance between the creation aspect and the production aspect, to keep that like in balance, because it's not always doable to do both at the same time, even though it are like different products. So
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. I think, like you said, I think it definitely should help that you got the both of you working on it together. But I know from experience that the production part doesn't always go the way you want it to go. How has it been working with artists, because you two aren't traditional artists, right? You're not drawing the graphic novel yourself.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with this being your first graphic novel, working with artists and colorists and letterers and things like that?
Yes, we need to. It was a learning curve, man. Learning everything from scratch. We are producers, we're creators, because we have done several projects in art and creation, but everything is totally different. So it was training wheels on and making mistakes and doing it again and again and over until it's there. So, but I think that's also the beauty of it. We're not from like an art school learning it how it's supposed to go. We're just doing it our way, and maybe it's a longer way, but it's still our way, and we love doing it. So
Yeah.
we don't we're just getting it done and learning it, and we're working with an
Yeah.
epic team, but we're making mistakes, but
Yeah,
you know
and then
that's
also part in the creation part, because you have the practical part of the production, like you said, from lighting, coloring, and whatsoever. But also in the storyline, because we have such an immense narrative stuff that we can pick. So the initial storyboard that we already created over 2 years ago, maybe 6 7 pages from that storyboard are now in the final 60 pages of the graphic novel. So the moment that we thought we
yeah.
have like a part of the pre-production done, then we started a part of the production, but then we need to come back to storyboarding again and changing things up and improving the story, the narrative, the characters, all the layers. So yeah, it wasn't in a even though we didn't have a standard way of doing it, we're doing it in the non-conventional way, going back and forth because we just wanted to be best as possible. So there's always a challenge also with the, like you said, with the artist going back and forth. Some artists working part time, some full time, going back and forth. So yeah, we're still learning, still learning in the final. I said the last step of the production phase. It's still learning, going back and making it happen.
No, I think Danny and I combined have maybe produced about close to 30 comics altogether. So we
Yeah.
can both tell you that those first couple of books are struggles to get through because you are learning as you go. But you get the flow with it eventually. You get it eventually. I don't think we even touched upon your guys' history before this. Where did you both come from to get to this point? Like, what were you guys doing before this?
Yeah, it was a whole different background. I'm schooled as a psychologist. Also had my own psychology practice, relationship therapy, and yeah, mental health. That was the
Oh,
thing that I was doing, and occasional also was a lecturer at applied university here in the Netherlands. So that was a different kind of way of doing things. But besides that thing that I was doing, we were already working with the three of also with a sister and Gerald from maybe 15 years back already. Was 15, 20, Gerald?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
oh.
Yes. Um, I my background is I'm a b-boy. I'm a hip hop head, and I'm an event organizer. I've done it since 2000, and everything what's in the black culture, I love to promote. I love to organize. And that's my background, and this for me is an extension of that. It's still culture, it's production, it's doing what we love, and getting a group of epic creatives together and make a production. So it's in the same area what I've always have done. Not per se hip hop culture, but a part of hip hop culture. I see hip hop and comics as a marriage. And yeah, that's my background. I was a financial director. I was an director of an hip hop institute years ago, and yeah, the financial part that was not so cool always. Uh, but I was still working with culture, working with youngsters, working with creatives, and now still the same. But then with First Noble Studios.
Nice. That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, y'all. I don't know if you've seen the show before, but here comes our favorite part. We're gonna do quick takes right now. And when you're ready, Kyron.
Okay.
Steven, I need to get your card though. I need to get. You said you do mental health stuff, and I always have some. I might need to get with you on that. But
Yes, we'll make that happen.
but all right. So quick takes is a session, rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. Okay. So basically, what we're gonna do is we got 5 questions. We're gonna give you 45 seconds each to answer those questions. But the first question, we're not going to use the clock at all. We're going to just give you the floor because the first question, I want you to talk about your sister. I know that I saw on the Kickstarter that, she passed away a few years ago, and but she's so important to this journey and this story. So I'll just give you some time to talk about how important she is to this process and why you're doing this for Wanda.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. Thanks. Didn't saw that one coming. Yeah. Wanda, the eldest one of the Vrede siblings, and she was and still is the glue that keeps everything together. And yeah, she when we're growing up, she was the oldest, the responsible one, but also the smartest one. Like to kind of 3 master degrees, doing everything what she was doing. So she was very skilled, and especially in storytelling and in writing. So when we were growing up, like Gerald was referring to, we went through a lot of stuff that people still cannot really explain, only to the African Caribbean perspective. Um, and we went through all those things. Every time we came back on top, then we looked at each other and we said, okay, we need to write books about this because it's too crazy. People still wouldn't believe, even when we write those things down and say it's fiction, people won't believe that shit is happening. So she was the writer of us. We all did our part working together, but she was the one that was planned to write all these books. So the moment that she passed away, we decided that it was her legacy. It's our legacy, but especially for her, we still needed to make the mission complete because otherwise, yeah, we wouldn't be incomplete, leaving the stories untold and finishing her mission.
I love it. Okay. All right. Question number 2. So we talked just a little while ago, Steven, about psychology, and I want to know in the storytelling process or the creation process, because I can see that it's in the story. How do you use your background in psychology in storytelling?
The way that I try to do is that we really try to get deep into the characters, not only having those flat characters, the superficial stuff, but really getting to the not only the heads of the characters, but the heads of the readers. Why do you want to see a specific character evolve? Why do they do what they do? How's the interpersonal dynamic, specifically with the siblings? Even though we lived through it, but what happens when you put 3 siblings together with all specific abilities and characters, and how you can make that come to life and make it interesting. That is one of the main things I think, based from the psychology, tweaks into the story.
I love it. It's exactly 45 seconds, man. Y'all are professionals, man. Y'all are professionals. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. So Gerald, one for you, man. So you told me about your history in organizing and how you're a b-boy. You know what I'm saying? If we need to do a battle real quick before the show is over, we can do that. No, but I want you to tell me in 45 seconds, how are you putting yourself in these stories?
I think these 3 main characters, Gerald, Stephen, and Wanda, are Gerald, Stephen, and Wanda. It's maybe crazy, but it is what it is. It's based on our lived experiences, and the narrative is, of course, sugar-coated sometimes and create into fantasy to make it digestible to people. But yeah, it's us, things we've been through, and mixed with lore and mythology that I think people haven't seen this before, the way we're doing it. Because yeah, those things are taboo. Where we come from in Europe, where we come from in the Caribbean. So now turning it onto a page, it's a lot, but it's us.
There you go. There you go. I love it, man. Okay. So question 4. So this is a question that I ask a lot of comic book creators because there's so many moving parts in these comics, and of course, not all of it is fun. Not all of it is great. There's a lot of rewarding parts in making comics, but there's some bad things too. So I want to know from both of you, what is the best part of making comics, and what is the worst part of making comics?
I'm gonna start with the worst part, putting everything into 60 pages. That way to say that there's so much that you want to do, and sometimes you have one scene that you want to describe, and it can be in 2 panels, but it can also be in 12 panels, and keeping everything compressed in a manner that it will work. The most incredible thing I think with comics is because it's such a visual medium that you don't have to use so many words. And especially as a psychologist, I talk a lot, I listen, but I talk sometimes even more. That with one image you can show so much more than a whole chapter written out. So yeah, that is the flip side.
For sure. What about you, Gerald?
I think the best thing is making is making the comic, man. The journey is so rewarding to see your vision come to life. It's an epic thing. It's fucking epic. Panels, the story. I love the process, and not per se when you're done. That's always a sweet part, but it's not cool to finish it because you have killed so many darlings. The story is always bigger than what you present to the people, but the journey to get there, I think that's magic into creation. I love that.
I love it. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So the last question, and I should have asked y'all this before. Have y'all been over to America? Have you been over to the
Not
States
yet.
yet?
Not
Okay.
yet.
Not yet.
Do
All
you want
right.
to
So
switch it up real quick?
no, I'm still gonna ask it
All
because
right.
we'll do from a different perspective. All right. So for the 5th question, I always get our guests to do a top 5 list off the top of their head. As we do another show called Top 5 Live. So since you haven't technically been to the States, I want to know what would you think are the top 5 American foods that you would like to try when you come?
Ooh.
And you can both join in this one. So let me get
Yeah.
just throw some out there.
But I'm a little bit scared of the food in America, man. The GMO food. I don't like it. I don't like it. For real. I'm scared.
That's a
Yeah.
good point. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I
No.
have some problems with like milk allergy and stuff, so I'm gonna
Wow.
dive into it. So it's not that easy. But if I want a true, original, authentic burger, like the one that you cannot finish in one session, that you need to take home,
Yeah.
such a
Okay.
one that creates like a heart attack. Give
We
me
got them.
those.
We got them for
All
sure.
right.
We definitely got those. No, that's
Yeah,
good. Burger could be 1 through 5. No, definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
they're like 5. They're like 20 different kinds of burgers you can get here, so it's fine.
yeah,
oh
that's a good
man,
one.
thank y'all for doing that, man. That was Quick Takes. Quick Takes is brought to you by Gemini Comic Supply. If you go to Gemini Comic Supply, you will and use the promo code AceBlade, you get 10% off your entire order. Man, we appreciate y'all, man.
We really need to change that. Can we change that to Four Tails is the code some point? I'm tired of promoting Ace Blade.
I'll see what I can do. Like I said, man, the Kickstarter is technically finished, but you still have late pledges. How long are y'all gonna run the late pledges? Do you know?
Until we're done with the production part. So
Okay.
yeah, then it's still possible.
Awesome. So I'll ask you this then. So I know one of the rewards is that you can get your name in the book if you pledge, right? So even the late pledges get that too, or will it be cut off at some point?
Because not all pledges are still open, but it's
Mhm.
still possible to get one from the top of my head. Because one or two will still have that option. Yeah, yeah. To double check, but I think that's still possible.
All right.
And otherwise, they can reach out, and then we can make something special. Specifically, if they watch this stream, maybe we can send out a code or something. Then we can sign a special version specifically for the people.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, I like that. I like that.
I love it.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we want to make sure that our audience follows you and keeps up with your work, keeps up with First Noble. Where are the best locations on the internet to keep up with you and your works?
I think the best is Instagram for now, and also TikTok, and of course the website www.firstnoble.org. And through the link tree, you can reach all the links available for socials from First Noble, for Gerald, and from myself.
Nice. Okay. All right. And Danny, where can people check you out?
Right now, the best place to find me is on Kickstarter, man. Ace Blade number 9 is on Kickstarter for the next.
Scan the code right there if you want to go get
13 days or so. I think we got 13 days left. We're almost at the goal. But other than that, if you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you, sir, in that nice purple shirt?
You can find me at social media on all platforms at Taurus Comics. You can find me at tauruscomics.com, where you can pick up all my books except for Saw the Light and Wilder issue 2, because we were completely sold out on that from the last weekend. But I'm going to restock soon, so keep up with that. But if this is your first time checking out our podcast, you can go to our website, fourtalespodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast. You can check out our previous episodes. You can buy some merchandise to support us. But don't forget to come back next week at the same time, where we are going to have Carla Mindrano, writer and creator of Beam Award-winning book, Luna, the Queen of...
Luna.
Yep. She'll be here to talk about her books. And yeah, we have some great fun. But until next time, everybody, sayonara, goodbye. And what are you doing?
That's the Instagram.
I found the Instagram. Follow.
Okay, why are you trying? Oh, okay. You're trying to say you follow them now?
That's right. That's right.
All right. You messed up my exit for that, dude.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.